Now we're going to look at how we are going to make the dummy menu items become real menus. So if we go to the front end, we look at the home page, and let's go to home. So we see these items like about us and all these subs. These are text separators, which is another way in Joomla of saying blanks. You click on this and nothing can happen. It's literally impossible. And so let's go to About Us, and we go to Nowhere. We need to make About Us be a real thing. And so what we'll do is we'll go to the back end. We're going to Menus, Main Menu English. It's absolutely not the same as Main Menu. And in here, we find the actual menu structure for the site. If you don't want to be distracted by what is not published, click on Search Tools, select Status, Published, so that only the published items are then visible. We go to About Us, and we're going to change what type of menu this is. The type of menu is set to external. We will change that to be Articles, Single Article. When we do that, it then is waiting for a parameter. The parameter is to select an article. And the article we want in particular has full width in the name, so I'll just start typing full. And hit return, how to create full layout. And that's the article we want. I'm going to simply save that, and I'm going to go to the front. I'm going to refresh, and then click on About Us. Now we get this. This is something that we can now edit into becoming a page with content. So to do that, we would then go to the back end. We want to close out anything to do with the menu now. And we want to go to Content, Articles. And we can just type full, and it'll bring up the article. And now we can simply click into here, and what I would do right away, I would change this to be About Us. Actually, let's do something a little different. Let's close that without saving. And we're going to save as a copy. The reason I'm making this choice instead of renaming it is that you will need this article again to make other menus active, and so just to preserve this name, we'll save as copy. So that means that the article that we had before is still there untouched. We have this new one which has the version 2, and we'll name this one About Us, without the special spelling. Remember we talked about alias? Here's the alias, and we're going to name this alias About _us. Now we save and close, and let's go back to the front end, back to home. We click on About Us. We get that article. Let's see what's going on with our alias here. Let's now search for About. And About Us is not published. So what this means is that in here we have to change this to published. And we save and close, and it still won't show up correct, and we look at why. So now we go here and we refresh. Actually, we have to go to home to really test it properly. and then go to About Us. And it still won't show up correctly, and the reason is, if we were to go back to our menu and go to About Us, remember the parameter we set in the article is this. We're now going to set it to the correct parameter. The correct parameter is we're going to clear this completely, and we're going to select an article directly. And we're going to clear this, and we're going to choose About Us. So as you get the information that Donna wants to have in this menu item, or in any menu item, you're going to have to decide whether it will be making use of images in here as well. And I want to make sure we don't have a bunch of pages that have text and no images, because that's a real killjoy. And so if we were to edit that, we would simply go to Content, Articles, and let's go to About Us. And by the way, as you see more than one About Us, and you may look at confusion, simply looking at the alias, you can see that this is not what we've been working on. This is what we've been working on because the alias says About Us. And you would insert images through this icon here, where you can actually browse either locally to your local hard drive, or preferably you would have organized them in folders in the media area of the site. And of course, if as you've worked on previous Joomla projects, this area, this aspect is the same. This is not K2. This is regular Joomla content. While recording this video tutorial, I have decided to add a new article editor to the site that lets us manage the images within Joomla articles better. And so we go into the About Us article, and while you're working with Donna to create these articles, we should have no article that is simply text. That's an absolute killjoy. The way we will add the images in, we have a couple ways. One is to, actually the preferred way, is to take it from here. So you first put your cursor where you want the image to be. You come here to Image, and rather than simply uploading directly to the article, you should be putting them into folders. And so let's say this is the image that we were going to add to the article, and so it seems to be kind of outsized at the moment. So we select the image, okay, so it's selected, and now we can size it, and we can even position it where we want it to be in the article. It doesn't appear to have done it, but it really has. And to demonstrate that, we then click on the image format icon, and it brings up this requester, this window, and in here we set the alignment. So in this case, I'm going to set the alignment to be right, and so you can see an example of how it's going to line up with the image. And then we can determine what kind of margin we want between the image and the text. I'm going to make it 8, and because this is checked, it will be 8 all around, even though right now you don't see it. You then update, and then you accept yes, and then there it is. And so we would then, we can save that, and we can go to the front end, and we can refresh, and there we have our image in the article. So no article should have 0 images. That is a major faux pas that we are not doing. So between what we've learned in this tutorial of how to change a dummy menu into an actual menu, on referring to an article and how we edit the article, we should be set to make everything here go live. Now bear in mind that this first pass you're doing with Donna doesn't define how the pages will all look in the end. What we're trying to do right now is to get as much content into the site as possible. Once we do that, we will then take a second look at how we can make each page be as effective as it can be for what we needed to do with the visiting audience.